Hi, Burnley Moran. Mrs. Cox here again for another Read Aloud. Today we are going to be reading Riley Can Be Anything. Words by Davina Hamilton, illustrated by Elena Reynoso. Let's get started. Riley can be anything. Riley loved his big cousin Joe. There were so many things Joe wanted to know, like, how does honey come from bees? And why must I always say please and thank you? Big Cousin Joe was full of questions, and Big Cousin Joe had lots of suggestions. This time, he asked Riley, "Can you tell me, when you grow up, what are you going to be?" "I'm not sure yet," Riley sighed. "Cousin Joe, can you help me decide?" Joe replied, "Of course I can. Let's give this some thought now, little man." A moment later, Cousin Joe said, "You could be a chef, like Uncle Ted. Your restaurant could serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you did that, you'd be on to a winner." "A chef," said Riley. That sounds good. But do you really think I could?" Joe said. "Your food could be fit for a king. Riley, you can be anything." Riley was pleased, but still unsure. "Maybe we should think some more. What else could I be?" Riley asked Joe. Said Joe. "I know. You could play the saxophone like Uncle Baz. He's in the band that plays music called jazz. It's really cool music that's for everyone. It's funky and groovy and lots of fun." "I like the saxophone," Riley cried. "Are you sure I could play it? I've never tried." "Of course," said Joe. "You've got that swing. Riley, you can be anything." Riley liked the saxophone idea, but still, there was more he wanted to hear. He asked Cousin Joe, "What else could I be?" Joe smiled and said, "Let's see." "I've got it," said Joe. "This is a good plan. You could be a doctor like Uncle Dan. When people are ill, you'll make them feel better, or you can write them a doctor's letter." "Make people better?" Riley asked. "Yes," said Joe. "It's a special task. Think of all the joy you could bring. Riley, you can be anything." Riley was happy, but still he pondered, which means he's thinking. "What else could I be?" He sat and wondered. "Cousin Joe, I'm still not sure." "No problem," said Joe. "We can think some more. But let me have a sip of my drink. Water always helps me think." "Oh, I know," said Joe as he drank. "You could be a pilot like great-granddad Frank. He flew a plane in the Royal Air Force. That was years ago, of course. He was brave as he flew in the sky, soaring his plane through the clouds way up high." Riley thought for a little while, and then he gave a massive smile. "A pilot," he said. "Now that sounds great. I'm so excited. I can't wait. But up in the clouds is very high. What if I'm scared to go up in the sky?" Joe smiled and said, "Stop worrying. Riley, you can be anything." The next day, Riley was at school. He was feeling pretty cool. The things that Cousin Joe had said were still whizzing around in Riley's head. Then the teacher, Mr. Brew, said, "Class, here's what we're going to do. I'd like you to think and then tell me, when you grow up, what would you like to be?" "A teacher," said Lucy. "A fireman," said Kyle. "I'm going to be a writer," Jane said with a smile. "A vet," said Eddie. "A dentist," said Bee. Everyone knew what they wanted to be. "What about you, Riley?" Mr. Bruce said. "Not sure yet," Riley said, scratching his head. But just as the school bell started to ring, Riley said, "I can be anything." And Riley could be anything. You could be anything. So there were a bunch of different options that Riley had. He was looking at his family and learning a lot of different things and careers that they had. So he was talking about maybe being a chef. Maybe he wanted to play the saxophone in the band. Maybe he wanted to be a doctor. Maybe he wanted to be a pilot. Or maybe, like his friends, he wanted to be a teacher or a writer or a vet or a dentist. What do you think you might want to be when you grow up? So today, your challenge is to think about what you want to be. Just like Riley, you can be anything. Maybe you have many ideas. Discuss with someone at home what you might want to be. Brainstorm some ideas. And then there's a worksheet attached. What do you want to be when you grow up? Make certain to give lots of reasons and using that special word because, so that we know exactly what you're thinking and so that you can really support your opinion. Good luck, writers. We can't wait to see. Make certain to share with us.